Can you tell me what is the primary goal of implementing a chatbot in customer service? Or can you tell me how you can implement a chatbot without coding knowledge or with less amount of coding knowledge? Hi, this is Krupali from Know How Academy. So in this video, you are going to get the answer of how to implement a chatbot without coding knowledge or with less amount of coding knowledge. Let's see the scenario, what we are going to do. In this video, we are going to develop a chatbot which will ask for student registration. If student is already registered, then the chatbot will ask whether they want to register for training or workshop, and then whatever the information it is getting from the student, it will store it into the database, and from the database chatbot will give the answer also as per the requirement. So in this video we are going to see how to build a chatbot and how we can integrate this chatbot with any application, what is the Power Virtual Agent, how to call a flow from the chatbot, how to publish a chatbot, and how you can add your chatbot to the application. So this is my chatbot. Let me show you first what is the end result of that. Now see, when I write hi, so chatbot will ask whether you want to register or you are already registered. So first time I am using the chatbot, so I am using the new registration. So new registration, what's your full name? Let's say my full name, I am writing it Krupali Musa. Then it will ask for my email ID. So I am registering, writing my email ID @gmail.com. Then it will ask my contact number. So I am adding the contact number, since this contact number I am providing it is a dummy contact number. Then it is asking for my education qualification. So I am giving them my education qualification, that is postgraduate. And then it will ask for, do you want to register for training or workshop? So if yes, then it will give me the link using which I can register for training or workshop. You can visit the link. So I'm going to visit that link. So it is giving me the page, and it is also asking for me the feedback, whether I'm enjoying the chatting with the chatbot or not, and I'm giving the 5-star of that. Now see, for that, whatever data I have entered or whatever way I registered, if I refresh this page, I'm using the Dataverse to store the information which user is providing to the chatbot. Now see, I registered. So whatever information I gave, it is registered, and whatever feedback I have given, I can also see the feedback in that. So let me go to the tables and search for the feedback where I am storing. So this is the feedback for chatbot, and here whatever feedback I have given, it is registered. So this way we are going to develop a chatbot. You may have a question, how I build this chatbot without coding knowledge or with less amount of coding knowledge. So let me tell you, I am able to build this chatbot with one of the services of Microsoft, that is Power Platform. Now what is Power Platform? Power Platform has n number of services. So building a chatbot, I use 4 services of a Power Platform, that is Power App, Power Virtual Agent, Power Automate, and Dataverse. Now let me tell you how this 4 service will communicate with each other. Now see, when I ask something to the chatbot, now see, the chatbot, whatever you are looking, that is made it in a Power App. Now via a Power App, I add the services of Power Virtual Agent. Now see, this is the chatbot which I have made. So I add this chatbot services in a Power App. Now user will communicate with the chatbot, that is display via Power App. So whatever you are asking or whatever you are getting, that is you are getting from Power Virtual Agent. And sometimes if data is needed to the Power Virtual Agent, so via Power Automate, Power Virtual Agent communicate with the Dataverse. Now you may have a question, what is Power Virtual Agent, what is Power Automate, and what is Dataverse? So Power Virtual Agent is a type of software as a services using which you can develop a chatbot. Now, sometimes chatbot require to store data somewhere. So, using a Power Automate, I save the data in the Dataverse. Now, what is Dataverse? So, Dataverse is a one type of database management services using which you can store and retrieve data to the cloud. Now, that is also services of the Power Platform. So, this way you can make your chatbot. On your screen, you are able to see one picture, and this picture is a flow, or you can say a pictorial representation of how our flow is working. So pause this video for a while and try to understand. I am adding this picture in a description of the video, so you can download the picture from the description. We are going to make our chatbot using 6 steps. So let's see each step one by one. In first step, we are going to make our data in Dataverse. In second step, we will make our Power Virtual Agent. In third step, we will make flow, which is in a Power Automate, which will insert data into the Dataverse. In next step, we will add that Power Automate flow into the Power Virtual Agent. Next step, we will make our Power App, which will add the Power Virtual Agent. And in last step, we will set our chatbot with proper heading and we will test it. So let's start with making tables in Dataverse. So for that, you need to open your browser and open Power App Developer Login. Power App Developer Login. I already log in. So when I click it on the first link, it will redirect it to the page, sign in page, and when I click on the sign in, automatically my Power App login will appear. Now here, left hand side, a table is there. So you need to make the tables. So click on the tables. Here you will see available or default table which is there in the Dataverse. We are not going to use these tables, but we are going to make our own tables. So if you want to make our own tables, you need to click on new tables and select the add columns and data. Then here in this window, you need to set up your table name as well as your column name. So first of all, I am giving the name of a table as TBL student. TBL is a prefix of any table. Click on save. So my table name is TBL student. Then by default one column will be there. So I need to rename the column, that is edit column, and here I am storing the full name of a student, email ID of the students, contact number of the students. So first of all I am storing the full name. So give the column name as a full name. Then make it data type as a single line text. Then click on update. Then click on plus sign to add more columns. So here I am adding email ID as a column. Click on save. Then contact number. Then click on save. Then I am also adding educational detail. Okay, you can add n number of fields, whatever you require. But since I am showing the demo, so I am taking only 4 fields. And here I am also adding dummy data in the table. So let's say Krupali, then my email ID, krupali@gmail.com. Then contact number, I am adding dummy contact number, and educational detail, let's say postgraduate. Okay, and click on create to create a table. So my table is created and you will see the data which I have entered. Now where you can find it if you have already created a table. So again click on the table and go to the custom, and here you will able to find our name of the table. You can double click it and it will open automatically, which you made already. Now for storing a student information, we are making student table. Now I want to store a feedback of the student also. So to store a feedback of the students, I am making a new table. The name of the table is TBL feedback. So let's repeat the task. That is, click on the tables again, and here you need to click on add columns and data, and here I am giving the name of a table as TBL feedback. Click on save, then column name, email ID, email, then update, and then I'm adding a rating, that is 5 star, 3 star or whatever. So I'm not right now adding any data in a feedback table. I'm leaving this table as a blank. Only columns are there. So click on create. So your table is created, but here you will not able to see any data. The reason is I did not enter any data in the table. So let's go to the tables again and go to the custom and check it. 2 tables I have made. So here we have completed the first step of making a chatbot, that is making data or making table to store the data in a Dataverse. Now the next step is start Power Virtual Agent or getting started with Power Virtual Agent. To start a Power Virtual Agent, you need to open a browser and search for Power Virtual Agent. Virtual Agent. Then hit enter, and here you need to go on Microsoft Copilot Studio or extend Copilot or create your. You need to click on that link and it will open that Power Virtual Agent homepage. And here you need to sign in, and I'm signing using my account. You need to use your account. After opening a Power Virtual Agent, you will able to see this screen. But before going ahead, make sure that you are in a correct environment. How you can check that? So see, we have created some of the table in Dataverse, that is TBL feedback and TBL student, and that is in my environment, that is my name, Rupali Gusar's environment. So make sure that your Power Virtual Agent login should be in the same environment. Now see here, this is a IT One Stop environment and this is my login. So you need to click on the environment and select an environment in which our tables are there. Okay, now if you created an account from using Microsoft, so default environment will be yours. But since in my account several environments are there, so I need to make sure it. Now here you will able to see the Copilot. Now what is Copilot? Copilot is considered as a virtual agent, or consider your virtual agent where you are going to talk with that virtual agent. In Power Virtual Agent, the term Copilot is considered as a virtual agent. Here you will able to see whatever virtual agent you have created so far. So I have already created one virtual agent, so that is considered my Copilot. So here you will see recent Copilots I have created. Now let me show you how it will look. Now see, this is the screen of Copilot. Okay, and here this is the name of the Copilot, chatbot for inquiry. Don't worry, I will teach you how you can create a Copilot from the beginning, but let's first understand this. So this is the screen where you are going to test it. Okay, so let's say, first of all, when you are testing it, keep on, or you can say on the tracking on. That means whatever you are writing, you will able to see based on what it will show. Now let's say I am testing it just for now, writing hi. So see here. Here you will able to see based on what that Copilot is answering you. Now see, this is the flowchart like things that you will able to see. So when it will start answering, so that is called trigger. Trigger means when Copilot will start answering you. So when I write hi, so this is called trigger. Now trigger when it will start answer. So if I write hi, if I write hello, or if I write can you help me, based on these 3 words, it will, or based on these 3 sentences, it will start answering me. So now see, it will ask me a question that please select from the following. So whatever I have written, it will ask me. And then it is giving me 2 options, whether you are new registration or whether you are already registered. So this way you will able to test it, and here you will able to see how the Copilot will flow. So this here, whatever you have written or whatever you are going to write, that is considered a topic. So let's understand how to create a Copilot from the beginning. So we need to create a Copilot that is called Power Virtual Agent, which will talk with the students and ask for their details. So what we are going to do? So first of all, we are going to create a Copilot that will ask the students for registration. If the student is already registered, then the Copilot will ask that whether you want to register for training or workshop. And if student is not registered, then it will ask for their personal detail, and whatever details students enter, it will store it into the Dataverse. So let's start creating a Copilot for that. So for that, you need to open the Power Virtual Agent and you need to click on New Copilot, and you need to give the name of the Copilot. So I am giving the name of the Copilot, that is Chatbot, and click on Create to Copilot. Now it will take some time to create it. Now once you have created a Copilot, you will get this screen. So this is called a testing screen, where you are going to test whether you are created Copilot correctly, or whatever user or student will ask, how Copilot will answer or how Chatbot will answer. So this is called testing screen. This is a screen where, as a developer or as a Power Virtual Agent developer, you are going to create a flowchart like a scenario. Let's see that. So when you first time create a Copilot, you will get some ready-made topics. Now what is topic? Topic means, let's say if you are saying hi, how a chatbot will answer. Let's say if I write here hi, a Copilot will, or you can say Power Virtual Agent will answer, hello, how can I help you? So if user or if student will write hi, how Copilot will answer. So that is called topic. So these are the inbuilt topics that are available for greetings, for saying goodbye, for saying start over or thank you. But we are not going to use that inbuilt topics. We are going to create our own topics for that. So first of all, we need to switch off the topic which is already available. So switch off this by just clicking on that. And now you need to create a new topic from the beginning. Okay. So you need to click from blank, and here your Copilot first phase is created, that is when it will start answer. Okay, so let me go to edit. Okay, here nothing is there. So first of all, I need to ask a question. Now what will be this next step after saying hi or hello? So let me show you this picture. Now see, when you start hi or when you start hello, the Copilot will ask these things to the students. So student needs to understand whether they are registered or whether they are a new registration. So so for that, I need to ask a question to the user. So for that, I need to click on the plus sign and ask a question. And here I need to write hi, how can I help you? Or you can say please select from the following. Sorry, let me just move my cursor a little bit ahead. Please select from the following. Okay, and then you need to here we are asking the students that whether they are new registration or already registration. So they have two choices, or you can say they have two options. So for that, you need to select a multiple choice option, and then here you need to add your first option, that is new registration, registration, and the second one is already registered. So click on that, already registered. Okay, and you can select n number of options. So once you create options for the user, automatically three condition, or you can say automatically 3 branches will be created. Now what is this? Let's say if you select new registration, what will happen? If you a student select already registered, what will happen? And if user select none of the things, what will happen? Okay, so first we are going to see if student select new registration, then what will happen. Let's test our chatbot which I have created previously. So let's say if I select hi, so chatbot will ask new registration or already registration, and I am selecting a new registration. Then it will ask my username. It will ask my name. So I am writing my name as a Krupali Pusa. Then it will ask for my email ID. Let's say krupali@gmail.com. Then it will ask my contact number, and it will ask for my educational qualification. So basically it is taking my registration detail. So chatbot is taking registration detail. So let's create that. So let me go to the picture and first explain you. So first it will ask my name, then it will ask my email ID, then it will ask my contact number, and then it will ask my education qualification. Okay, let's see that. Or you can say let's create it. So for that, let's say user will enter a choice new registration or already. So whatever student will enter, it will going to store. It will going to store somewhere. So where it will store? So chatbot will store under some variable. So whatever the choices of user is there, it will going to save somewhere, or it will going to use it in a future. So that choice, whatever student enter, it will store it in that variable. So if you want to change the name of the variable, so you can double click it and just double click and you will get. So let's say variable choice. Okay, or let's say variable student choice, student_choice. Okay, and let's say whatever you have entered, automatically it will update it in the 3 branches. Now let's say what if student will already register. So we are going to do that, but before that I need to add a phrases. That means how my chatbot will start. So I need to click on edit, and let's say if I want to edit the phrase, let's say, let me just run it, and let's say hi. Okay, so I need to add a phrase for that. Okay, why? Because it is asking, I'm sorry, I'm not sure what. So how it will start my answer. So I need to click on edit and add the phrase. Let's say if user will write hi, it will ask the question. If user will write hello, it will ask a question. If user write I need help, still it will answer, or the chatbot will start communicating with the students. If any 3 of the sentence user will ask or student will ask. So just add the phrase, save it, and just refresh it. And before that, before you are going to test it, you need to track. By default, the tracking is off. You need to switch on the tracking. Now, what is the meaning of tracking on? The meaning is that, let's say here you will going to see the correct sign. That means this step is executed. Now, virtual agent is going in that direction, or your chatbot is going in that direction. Okay. So here I am refreshing it. So entire process will start from the beginning. Okay, so before that, make sure that whatever topic is there, it's already switch off. Now my topic which I have created, that is untitled. So click on that and just name it as what we have created. So my name is student inquiry. Okay, you can give a name at the beginning when you are creating a topic. So let me just write hi. Okay, so see, the first step is executed, then the second step, which is already executed, that is please select from the following. So chatbot is asking please select from the following. So whatever choices I have given, you will able to see here. So I am selecting already registered, so it will go to that direction. So let me select the all. Now see, the chatbot is going in that direction. Now what is the next step after asking whether the student is new registered or already registered? So if the student is new registered, or if it is new registration, so I should ask name, email, contact number, which I have already told you. So let me go back, and here I need to add ask a question. Why? Because chatbot is asking a question to the end user, and the students need to answer that. Okay, so click on the plus sign and select ask a question, and then I'm asking I'm asking means chatbot will ask, what is your full name? And then here, whenever we are asking a name to the user, we are not giving the choices. We are giving a space to the students to write their name. So here in identify section, you need to select a person name. So person name you should. So automatically whatever you are going to take from the student, it will convert it into the person name. Now see, when you give any person name, when you are taking numbers, when you are taking some digits, when you are taking some alphabet, so according to that, Power Virtual Agent keep the data type. So person name generally be in a character format. So automatically the variable where chatbot will store your number, it will be in a string format. So let me change the name of the variable. Let's say variable full name. Okay, and see the variable. Now after asking a first name, I want to see what user entered. Actually, we are not displaying the name to the students what they have entered, but just for our understanding purpose I am showing you. So let's say whatever user entered to the chatbot, it will going to store in that variable. Now let's say what is the value which stored in the variable, I want to see that. So I need to click on that, and if Power Virtual Agent or chatbot want to display what user enter, so for that chatbot needs to send a message. So I need to take send a message, and then in a send a message I need to write your full name is. Now what user entered, that I don't know, or that we cannot predict. So whatever it is stored, that is stored in a full name variable. So how can I print the value which is there in a variable? So here you need to click on that X sign, and here you will able to see whatever the variable you have taken as a part of chatbot developer. So you need to select, so whatever value is there in that, it will print. So let's test it. So click on save and just test it. So refresh it. Just from that, you no need to write it thing. First of all, go to the topics and select the topic what we have created, that is student inquiry, and write down hi. Okay, and then it will ask new registration. Then see here, it will ask the name, what's your full name. So let's say if I'm entering my full name is, let's say Rupali Bhusa. Okay, and then chatbot is printing whatever user entered. So your full name is Rupali Bhusa. Basically we are not printing the values, basically we are taking the values and storing it into the database. So let's first take the values other than name. Let me delete it and let me ask a new question, that is I'm asking the email ID. So write your email ID. Okay, then I need to select from this email, and then here in that variable I'm storing, I'm taking the name of the variable is variable email. Okay, and Then I am asking a next question. So after creating an email, or you can say after taking an email, I need to ask what thing. Let's see that in the picture. After taking an email, I need to take a contact number. So let me go to the top Power Virtual Agent and click on the plus sign and ask a question. The question is, what is your contact number? You can ask anything. That is basically what you want to ask or what words you want. Okay, so what's your contact number? Okay, and here in that case, you need to select, here you need to search for phone number. So phone number, okay, and that variable, that should be in a variable contact number. Okay, so variable contact number and okay, just press enter. So variable name is changed. Now after taking a phone number, let's test it whether it is working or not. Okay, so let's test it. Just refresh it. Okay, and here every time its conversation start is there. Let me check whether it's switch on or switch off. But conversation start is not there. So student inquiry is there. Okay, so hi. Okay, so new registration, and let's say it is asking my name, and if I am entering 1 2 3, again it is asking my name. Why? Because chatbot know the 1 2 3 4 is not a name of the person. That should be in a character. A name should be in alphabetical way. So why this happen or how this validation happen? Because see, when you write what is your full name, and in identify section you select a person name, so automatically a chatbot know that what is the format of the name. So let's say my name is Krupali, so that is alphabetical. My name cannot be 1 2 3 Krupali. Either it can be Krupali or either it can be any other alphabetical. So automatically a chatbot will fire a validation. So again it is asking, it will ask until I entered a correct answer. So this time I am entering my name. So it understood the name is correct. Now let's check for the email. So let's say if I am writing KRU@, so it will automatically understand the valid email ID is the KRU is not a valid email ID. So again it is asking my mail. So let's say this time I am giving K123#. So again chatbot will get to know that whatever email ID I entered as a student, it is not valid. So again it is asking. So let's say this time I am entering my valid email ID, let's say krupali@gmail.com. So it understood. Now contact number, let's say when we are giving our contact number, it should be 10 digit. So let's say if I am entering only 4 digit and press enter. So again it is asked. Why? The reason is that 4 digit contact number cannot be there. So I need to give a contact number which is 10 digit. So chatbot will not check whether your contact number is correct or not, but it will check the format of the contact number is correct or not. So that way it will check. Okay, so here you can see that. And let's say after asking a contact number, we are asking the educational qualification. Let me go to the image or flowchart and show you. So just wait. Okay, so what's your last education qualification? And here in education qualification, we are giving choices, that is 10th pass, 12th pass, graduate or postgraduate. Okay, so let me go to my agent screen, click on the plus sign and ask a question. Let's say I'm asking a question. Let's say what is your educational qualification, and here I'm giving a choice. So I'm giving a choice that is 10th pass, then second choice is 12th pass, and the third choice is undergraduate, and the fourth one is postgraduate, Okay. So I'm selecting, and here variable name I am changing. Always give a meaningful name to the variable. The reason is, if you want to use it in the future, you can use it wisely and you can easily remember. Or by reading the variable name, you will understand what this variable convey or what this variable contains. So variable educational qualification. Okay. So here, see, you are giving 4 choices, so automatically 4 branches are created. Okay. And then after selecting the educational qualification, what should be there? So see, after selecting the educational qualification, we are asking, do you want to register for training or workshop? But as I explained you earlier, that after taking a new registration or after taking a registration detail from the student, I needed to save those details into my database. So where I am going to store it? So if you remember, before just some minutes, we have created one table which will store the information of student. So in that Dataverse table, we are going to store it. So for that, what we need to do? So we have a Power Virtual Agent which have a data of the students. Now I need to connect my Power Virtual Agent to the Power Automate Flow. Now let's understand what is Power Automate Flow. So how can we connect our Power Virtual Agent or our chatbot to the flow? So for that, we need to click on the plus sign, and here we need to click on call an action, and here we need to create a flow. So basically, what is flow? So flow is basically, it is a set of predefined business process. It will execute when something will happen. So let's say when student enter their registration detail, and after entering their educational detail, contact number, full name, whatever data user enter, it will automatically store it into the database. So whatever process we are going to do automatically, for that automation we require a business flow, or that flow we can call it as a Power Automate Flow. So we need to connect our Power Virtual Agent to the Power Automate. So how can we connect that? So for that, you need to click on that plus sign and click on call an action. Once you call an action, you will get this. So first time we are creating it, and if it is already created the flow, we can select it. But since we are learning, so we are creating our new flow. So you need to click on create a flow. Before creating a flow, make sure you are creating flow in the same environment. Okay, so here check the environment which is there. Now when see here, it will show 2 different steps. First step, when Power Virtual Agent call a flow. That means from here we created a flow. So automatically first step, when Power Virtual Agent call a flow, you need to double click on that, you will get this window. But before that, you need to give a meaningful name to the flow. So my default name is Power Virtual Agent Flow Template. So double click on it, remove it, and give a meaningful name, that is Student Registration Flow, and then hit enter. So flow name will be changed. Now from here, that is from chatbot screen, whatever we have taken from the students, we are passing to that. Whatever we are passing from Power Virtual Agent to the Power Automate, that is called input in a Power Automate flow. So here we need to add an input. Now see here, we have taken the name, email ID, phone number, and educational detail. All details are a kind of alphabetical value. Okay, so here we need to click on add input, and which type of input we are going to take it from the Power Virtual Agent, that is called text input. So here I need to give a variable name. So basically I am giving a variable name that is variable then student name, This is my first input which I receive from the Power Virtual Agent. The second thing I am going to receive is that is email ID. So here instead of that input 1, I am writing variable email. Variable email. Then the third input is a contact number. So variable contact number. And fourth input is educational qualification. So variable education. Okay, I'm just writing edu. Okay, and hit enter. Edu. Hit enter. So see, that input I receive from the Power Virtual Agent. Now whatever input I receive, I need to send it to the Dataverse. So how can I do that? So you need to click on the plus sign and you need to write add an action. In add an action, you need to write add new row. If you write it here, you will get that in Microsoft Dataverse, I want to add new row. So click on that. Once you click on that, you need to select the table in which you want to add the row. So let's see my Dataverse, and my name of table is TBL_student. So go to the automate and select the table. That is, several tables are there, so you can write it. So TBL student you are getting. Then you are selecting what details. So full name. So in full name, what you want? So in full name, you want the student. So you need to click on that sign and see whatever variable you have created in the input section. So student name, and here I need to click on show, and there in contact number I am selecting student variable contact number. Then in educational detail I am selecting student educational detail, and in email section I am selecting the student email. Okay, now let's check there are how many columns. So there are 4 columns, that is full name, contact number, educational detail and email. So let's check it. That is a student full name, then email ID, educational detail and contact number I have taken. So I have created a flow which will insert data into from the Power Virtual Agent to the flow. So just save it. Okay, so my Power Virtual Agent saved the flow. Okay, so wait for a while, the process is still going on. Okay, here you will get the message that your flow is ready to go. We recommended to test it. So let's say just click on done, and here we have created a flow with the name student registration flow. So go back to Power Virtual Agent, and from the call and action you will going to see the flow which you have created, but right now you are not able to see it. So what you need to do, you need to save this agent, Power Virtual Agent, and refresh it. Every time you are creating flow, so you need to save the agent or Copilot and refresh it. Automatically you will get. Just wait for a while and go down to the flow, and here let me go to the call and action, and here you will get student registration flow. So student registration flow. Okay, now here see, we have created 4 variables in the beginning. So what we want to pass, so here we need to pass some value from Copilot to the Power Virtual Agent. So see, we have taken a student name in the some variable. So let's say here the variable full name, then variable email. So these are the variable which contain the value which Copilot asked from the students. So let's go to the flow. So in student name from Power Virtual Agent, I need to pass the variable full name. Okay, then from email, I need to select the variable email. Then contact number, I need to select the variable contact number. And from the educational qualification, I need to select variable educational qualification. Okay, now my flow is created. Now after the data is saved successfully, and let me check it, what is the error. Okay, error will be prevent from blocking. Let me check it. What is that? Okay, here. Now see, this is the choice. Now what is the meaning of that? Now when we are selecting choice from the user. So the data type is choice. So whatever data type is there, I need to convert that data type choice to the text. Why? The reason is we do not have any choice data type. We have taken only text data type. So from Power Virtual Agent, whatever data we have in a educational qualification, that is in a choice data type. So I need to convert that choice data type into the string data type. So for that, you need to write variable management and set variable value. And for that, you need to write variable student choice, and you need to convert. You give the value. When you set a flow or when you call a flow from Power Automate to the chatbot, here you are getting an error. What is the meaning of that error? Because here, see, I have created a for variable that is a type of text. But here, if you see, I am passing for variable and the last variable is type of choice. So here the type incompatibility error is there, and here also you can check it by topic error. So what you need to do? So you need to convert that choice data type into a text. So how can you do that? So for that, after taking the value from that or here, what you can do, either you can do here or either you can do here. So let me click at here and let me call an action. Sorry, not call an action. I need to click on variable management and set a variable value. Now in that variable value, I am creating a new variable which will contain the data from other variable, that is variable educational. So I'm creating a new variable and the name of the variable is, let's say, edu choice, edu detail, okay, double click and edu detail and prefix make it as a where underscore edu detail. I am converting this educational choice data type into the text. So what I need to do, I need to click on this sign and go to the formula and convert into text. That is, text is converting any data type to the text. So for that, I need to write a bracket and I need to write topic, enter, and then you need to write the name of the variable to which you want to convert it into a text. So here this variable is a type of choice, a variable student educational. So I am converting it into the text. So complete the bracket and convert it. So now see, my variable edu detail contains the same value which is there in that variable, but that is a type of string, and automatically you can see the data type string. So instead of variable student educational detail, I need to select the variable educational detail. So error will automatically go, and just save it. And meanwhile also I am saving my flow also. So my flow is saved, and after storing the data, I am just displaying the message, your details saved successfully. So I am displaying the message, your registration done, your registration done. Okay, just save it again and just test it. Okay, now before we are entering into the new registration section, let me tell you what is the data. So here only one data is there. So I am going to enter the data via chatbot to the Dataverse. So let me just write hi. So Power Virtual Agent is asking. So I am selecting new registration. So this time I am entering other data other than Krupali. So let me write a name, Pooja Patel. I am writing it. And then it is asking my email. So I am giving dummy email, that is pooja @gmail.com. Then it it's asking my Pooja's contact number. So I'm giving dummy contact number of 10 digit, and it is asking my educational qualification. So I'm selecting post graduation, and it is working. So see, the flow is executed and your registration done, the message. So from Power Virtual Agent, my data is saved in a Dataverse table. So let's check it. Now data is not showing here. So let's just refresh it and see the data is saved in the Dataverse. So we are done with the first step of chatbot, that is new registration. So what we have done, so we taken a data from the students, call a flow from the Power Virtual Agent to the Power Automate, and Power Automate insert the data in a flow, and we will store it into the Dataverse table. So we have done with the first step. Congratulations. Till now we have completed the process of what virtual agent should do if the student is not registered. Now we will start developing a process for virtual agent for if the student is already registered. Now if the student is already registered, then Power Virtual Agent should ask email ID from the student, and then it will check whether that email IDs exist in its table or not. If it is not exist, then it will ask again, please provide your registered email ID. And if the email ID which he or she provided, if it is registered, then chatbot should ask whether you want to register for training or workshop. So let's design the process for that. Till now, I have completed the new registration process in Power Virtual Agent. The next process is what if the student is already registered. So let's design a Power Virtual Agent for that. So we are continue editing in that. I am going in the second branch that is already registered. So for that I need to ask to the user that please provide your registered email if user select already registered. So let me ask a question. Then please provide your email, that is registered email, and then here I need to select the email format, and here I need to change the variable name, that is variable email, that is registered email. And then after getting the mail, that is registered mail from the user, I will pass that email ID to the Power Automate flow, and that flow will check whether that email IDs exist in our table or not. So let's design a flow for that. So for that you need to click on the plus sign and click on call an action. This time we are creating a new flow. So for that you need to click on create flow, and here I am giving the name of the flow, that is check email of student, check email underscore student, and let me first save it. Whatever we have done, we have not done actually, but I'm just changing the name, so that's why I'm saving it. Okay, this flow will receive input from the Power Virtual Agent, that is whatever email ID I have taken, or you can say whatever email ID Power Virtual Agent taken from the student, that email ID Power Virtual Agent passed to the Power Automate flow. So this Automate flow will receive it. So for that you need to double click and add a variable and give this name of the variable, that is email, and I receive the input in that. After that what I need to do, after that whatever email I received, I need to check it into my database. So database, my name of a table is TBL student. So that is my table in which I am going to search via Power Automate. So let's go to the Power Automate, click on the plus sign and add an action, and here search for list row. So basically list row is an action of Dataverse which will search each and every record based on given condition. So I need to write a name of a table, that is TBL student. Then I need to click on show all, and in filter I need to write a column name in which I want to check the email ID which I passed. So what column name I should write it? So this column name I cannot write it in a code, so I need to click on that and click on edit column. So in a filter row section, I need to select that logical name of the table, copy that and go to that, and in filter row section I need to paste this name and then write equal to, and then in single quotation I need to select the name of a variable in which Power Automate will receive its input. So we have taken the input name as an email. So here automatically whatever input you have given, it will come here. Okay, so let me just do it again. Paste the email ID, then EQ sign, and in single quotation this email, that variable name I should write it. So whatever we have done till now, just let's save it. So it's saved. So this action will check whether that email ID I have passed, it is there in a table or not. And then after I need to check whether I received any row or no. It will return 0 if the email ID will not match, and if it will return non-zero value if email ID match with the pass value. Okay, so for that I need to click on add an action and write for compose, and here I need to check whether my list row get any number of row or not. So for that I need to select the function and search for the function. Sorry, here just let me remove it, and again you need to go to the function and search for the length. Here you can write length manually, or from that you can select it length, and from dynamic content you need to select the body / value. That means whatever list row body will return, we are checking with that. So it will return either 0 or non-zero value, and click on add. So this is my variable, just save it. Okay, so this function will basically check the data it return or not. After that, whatever it will return, I need to check whether it is greater than 0, equal to 0 or not 0. So for that I am adding an action called condition. And in a condition I need to select the output, which a compose action will return. So I need to select the output, and this time I need to select the variable. No need to select the function. Make sure that you are selecting from 2, you are selecting correct thing from this 2. Okay, and here you need to write 0. 0 means it does not return anything. So 0, if it is 0 then we are returning student is not there, and if it is not 0 then maybe student is there. So for that you just need to close this, and if the condition is true, that means we need to add an action called return value to Power Virtual Agent. I need to select that, and here I am selecting the output, that is reply, and I am selecting that as a no. That means student is not there. Okay, hit and close this, and here if it is there then I will select student is there. Return values to Power Virtual Agent, and I am taking the same variable reply, and yes. Okay, and this is so either it can return this or this. It will not return anything after this, so I need to delete it. Okay, and click on the save. So my flow saved successfully. Make sure here the variable name in true section and here the variable name in false section should be correct. Okay, so my flow saved successfully and it is created successfully. Now it's time to call a flow from Power Virtual Agent. So click on done and need to click on call an action, but this here it is not showing the flow check email student, so I need to refresh it. Let's save it and refresh the page. First complete the saving, and here now see, you can zoom in and zoom out also. Let's see if you want to zoom in. Okay, so you can click on that sign. If you want to say zoom out, you can check it out. And let's say if you want to move this, so you need to select the hand tool, it will move accordingly. And for that, if you want to do anything, again you need to click on selection tool and click for add and call an action, and here check email student flow will automatically appear. Okay, so here in this flow I am passing the value, that is variable registered email, and what it will return, it will return in automatically reply variable is taken. This time I am printing what it is returning, that is what my automate is returning. So I'm just printing for the sake of my understanding that student is or you can say I'm directly printing the variable value. So which value? Reply value. I'm printing it. Just save it and let's test it our flow first. Now see, in my student table, that is TBS student, two email IDs are there, rupali@gmail.com and pooja@gmail.com. So let's test it. Hi. Okay, so it is asking for whether you are registered. So this time I am selecting already registered. Then first of all I am providing any incorrect mail. So let me just check it out. k@gmail.com. So it is printing no. Why? Because in that section I have written no. Why? Because it is checking the condition, it is not returning 0. It is equal to 0. That means whatever email ID user has given to Power Virtual Agent, and Power Virtual Agent give that email ID to Power Automate Flow, and it is searching and it is not getting anything from the Dataverse table. So it is printing no. That is why, because I just print the variable in which values are there. Okay, no. And let's refresh and test it for the existing email ID. So let's start with hi. This time I am selecting already registered. Then it will ask for provide your registered email ID. So this time I am providing registered email ID, that is pooja@gmail.com. So it should print yes. Why? Because that email ID is already there. So let's go further. As we have discussed that if the email ID is present, then it will ask for whether you want to register for training or workshop. And if email ID is not there, then it will ask, then it will go and it will tell to the students that you should register first. So I'm not printing it right now. I just printed because of our understanding. So let's delete that and checking for the condition. Let's say for that I need to select add condition, and here I'm selecting reply. If reply is equal to yes, that means if the student is there, then I will ask to the user that do you want to register for training or workshop, and it can be answer can be yes or answer can be no. Okay, so if the student is there and if we will ask for yes or no, no. Okay, and then give me a second, let me just maximize it. And see here, so that is my variable choice, I am taking it. Okay, so let's change the variable name to variable choice. Okay, and if the choice is equal to yes, then I will give a link to the student. So what link I am giving? Let me just open the website and go to that website, and here I'm giving the training or workshop registration detail. So I'm going to copy that link and paste it in a sender message that kindly registered using this link, and paste it that link. Okay, and if students select no, then I will send a message, thanks for your time, and conversation will end. So let's test it. Say hi. So this time I'm selecting already registered, and I'm giving my email ID, that is pooja@gmail.com. Okay, so this time email ID yes will be there. So if you can see here this darker line, so yes should be passed, and it is asking for my choice. Do you want to register for training or workshop? And if I write yes, then kindly register using this link. Okay, so it will just end the conversation like that. And if in case if I select no, then it should print the message, thank you for your time. So let's test it. Hi, already registered, and this time I'm just giving the same email ID, gmail.com. Okay, and if I select no, then it will print the message that thanks for your time, and it will end the conversation. So we have done that. If the student is already there, then what happened? But sometimes what happened, if the student is not registered, then I should tell to the students that you should register for us. So for that I will send a message that this email is not registered. Now see, kindly make your registration, and my flow will go to the students, go to ask, do you want to register? Okay, so for that I will ask the question, do you want to register? Want to register with us? Okay, and if he or she say yes, or either they can say no also. If they say yes, then let me just change the variable name of their choice, variable registration choice. Okay, and if it is yes, then what I should do, I should redirect my flow to here, that please provide your email ID, what's your full name, and so and so. So for that, what I will do, okay, so if it is yes, then I need to go there and I need to go to call an action. Not for that, for that I need to select I need to select a topic management and I need to go to the go step. So which step it will go, then select the destination step that both should jump to the next. So here I am selecting the step that is what's your full name. Okay, so my bot will jump to that. So I need to just using a mouse, I need to select the step, and if you look into that questions, what's your full name, it will go. And if it is not there, so if students don't want to register, so we will send a message that thank you for your time, thank you for your time. Just save it and let's test our flow from the beginning for both the conditions, so you will not get confused what is happening. This flow is quite big, but if you do it step by step, you will easily get to know that. Okay, so let's run it again. So first of all, I'm selecting hi, and this time I'm selecting already registered, and I'm giving my incorrect email ID for that. So let's say krupa@gmail.com. So since this email ID is not exist in my Dataverse table, so it will ask for, see, this email ID is not registered with us, kindly make your registration. Then it is asking, do you want to register with yes? So if I say yes, then Power Virtual Agent automatically jump to that step, which step we have already designed for not registered. So that is, what is your full name, and so it will ask, and then it will complete the step, and here it will come back. It will display the message, your registration done. Got it? And let's test it again, and this time I'm providing my incorrect email ID and select that I don't want to register. Let's see what will answer. Hi, already registered. This time again I'm providing my incorrect email, and it is asking again, do you want to register with us? And I am simply saying no. So chatbot will answer, thank you for your time. So till now we have completed the process of registration of a student via chatbot if the student is not registered, and we have completed the things that what if the student is registered. So we have taken the registered email ID and check it for the validation. Now the next thing is we are taking feedback from the new registered students. So what is feedback basically? So after taking a detail of the students, let's say full name, email address, contact number and all these things, we are asking them whether you want to register for training or workshop. If they say yes, then we will then redirect it to the link, and if they say no, then we will say thank you. But at the end, we are asking them a feedback. Would you like to talk with me? So basically that thing is asking by a chatbot if the student is new registration. So let's design a flow for that, or we can say let's design a next process for feedback. So basically this is the flow which we have, or you can say this is the steps we have developed until now. Just test it from the beginning and let's see. Hi, and this time what we are going to do, we are selecting a new registration. So see, when the new registration is asking, we are asking for full name, email ID, then contact number and educational qualification, and after that we are inserting data in that. But after that, what we need to do, after data inserted successfully, or you can say we are printing the message that your registration done. But after that, what? After that, I want to ask the students whether you want to register for training or workshop. If yes, so that process we have already defined here for the new registered student. Sorry, already registered student. So same process I am going to do that here. Okay. So you may have a question that can we just directly jump into that section? Yes, you can do that. But here, since you are a beginner or since you are a first time doing a chatbot, so I suggest you to do it without jumping directly to that. So it will make a kind of revision section. It will make a kind of revision thing for you. So let me just ask a question to the user. Do you want to register for training or workshop? Okay, and this time again I am asking, I am giving a choice, that is yes, and then the second choice is for no. Okay, and if user say yes, then let's say here I am giving again name, variable, new choice, you can give any name. Now you can start writing the code with me, because since you are about to end the video, so I know that you are very much confident that how to write a code in Power Virtual Agent. So let me give the variable name, that is variable new choice, and if it is equal to yes, then what we are going to do, we are going to send them a sorry, I'm adding the condition, sorry for that. So I need to click on that, and I am asking, actually I am sending a message that you can register using our website. So let me just, you can register workshop, and then let me paste the link which I have already pasted. Then yes, here is there. So I am just copying this message, copy and paste it here in the new register section. Let me paste it. Okay, and if they say no, then we will say thank you for your time. Thank you for your time. For your time. At the end, we will ask feedback. So let me just ask a feedback kind of thing. So basically, what is feedback? So let me go to the feedback table, because whatever student will enter in a feedback, we are going to store it in our database or database table. So I have already designed a table feedback, and in that email to who is giving a feedback and rating. So rating basically 1 star, 2 star, 5 star. Okay. So let me go back and ask a question that would you like to give your valuable feedback to us? Okay, and this time I am giving a choice that yes, if student say yes, and if student not want to give a feedback, then we just say goodbye, and if they no, because we cannot make anyone to give a feedback compulsory, you know. And let me just take variable feedback choice. Okay. And then if they say yes, basically what if they say no? So basically we just send a message, or we just print a message that thank you for your time. Thank you for your time and thank you for registration and your time okay, and thank you for your registration and your time basically, and we just end up the conversation. And what if they want to share their feedback with us? So for that, again we need to insert data into the Dataverse table. So for that, as you know now, that we need to design a flow for that. Okay, so let me click on the plus sign and click on the action and create a flow. And this time I'm giving a name that is feedback of student, and what I will receive basically from that. So from chatbot, I'll basically receive the email which they entered and the feedback. Okay, so before that, before designing a flow, I should ask them that if they say yes, so how many stars you want to give. Okay, so let me ask a question that rate us between, or we can say rate us from following. Okay, and here again I am giving multiple choice question, so you can keep 1 to 10. I'm just keeping for 1 star to 2 star. So 1 star, then no option, that is 2 star, then 3 star, 3 star, and then 4 star, 4 star, 8 enter, and 5 star. 5 star. Okay, so basically what you can do sometime, let's say if student give 1 star, then something should happen. If student give 2 stars, something should happen. So you can design an individual flow, but here just what I'm doing, I'm just taking a feedback, whether that is 1 star, 2 star, 3 star, or whatever. Okay, so let me give a name to that is okay, rating. So variable rating is that, and after that I am designing a flow which will take rating and kind of user email or student email from the chatbot, and flow will insert data into that. So for that I need to click plus sign and call an action and create a flow. Okay, so this flow, a new window is there. Let me just close and just give again a name, feedback of student, and just save it first of all. And here I'm receiving 2 things from the flow. So the first thing is email. So let me just go, and email is a kind of text basically. So here I'm taking email of student, and the second input. You can receive n number of input from the Power Automate, from the Power Virtual Agent. And the second thing is rating rather than rating suit. So then what I need to do, I need to add an action called add new. Okay, so add new row. Why? Because basically I am inserting data into the table. So for that, one of the services called add new. And here I want to add the things in TPL feedback. And here which email ID. So as you can see that we have already created email and show all. So from that, next column is rating. So we are seeing rating. That's done. Rating is done. Then click on save. Now basically my Power Virtual Agent is not returning anything. Okay, so I'm just deleting it. Okay, so it will add new row kind of thing. Okay, so you done. So rating is done. So here, so click on done here, and again call an action end. Remember, again you need to refresh your page. Why? Because when you call an action, the flow which you have created recently, it will not show. So when you refresh the page from the beginning, it will start. And you know what is the beautiful thing about the Power Virtual Agent? You don't need to code just like a coder. You just need clarification of step and everything done by the Microsoft. Okay, so let me call a flow. Okay. You may have a question why it's taking too much time, but you know everything is saved in a cloud, and we are using basically as this software as a services. Okay, so that's why it takes some time. Okay, and here this time I'm calling an action called check email, not check email, but email validation for chatbot. Let me check feedback of student. Okay, so where it is? Okay. Feedback for chatbot. No, it's not appear here. Why it's not coming? Feedback for chatbot, that's not, but feedback of student. I think I need to write, I need to add an action called return, because you know otherwise it will not return anything to that. Okay, and just save it. Okay, just save it again. So since I have done changes in that, so let me refresh. Okay, let me call an action and feedback of students. See, before that it was not appear. Why? The reason is that I am not returning any value. That's why, you know, I thought that I'm not returning anything, so let's delete it. But you know, agent will call a flow, but you know that flow should return, so that's why you should keep this. Okay, otherwise it will not show. So feedback of student, just edit. Now here, you know, you need to pass two things, that is email and rating. Now you remember that rating is there in that variable, but where is email? But so if you remember, when we are designing flow for taking information, so here that variable name I have given, let me think, oh here the variable email. So that same variable I am passing. I'm not taking again the email from the students. So variable email and rating, obviously where rating, yes, rating from that, and I'm just done, and we are just displaying the message that an error occurred. Oh, now see, there is an error in that flow. Why? The reason is that basically rating we have taken in a form of choice, and in Power Virtual Agent we have taken a rating as a text. So here the type conversion error will come. Why? The reason is that here we are passing choice and it is considering the string. So before passing the value, we need to convert that choice data type into the what we can say choice data type into the string. So for that, what we need to do? Let's see that. So here you need to add an action, or you can say add an action, or you can say here you need to set a variable which will convert that choice into the string, and then we will pass that variable into that. So let's design for that. So for that, you need to click on plus sign and click on the variable management and set variable value, and here I need to create a new variable which contain rating. That variable contain rating but in a form of choice, but that variable contain rating in form of text. So let me give a variable name variable star. Okay, I'm just giving rating or star, both are same. And here to value, what I need to do, I need to write a formula that you need to write text, okay, then topic dot the name of the variable, that is variable rating. Okay, so it will convert it into the text, choice into the form of text, and that variable I am passing it into the Power Automate flow. So let me just find the variable star. So now see, it's a star, so error went, and here I'm displaying the message that thank you for your feedback. And at the end, if we are asking the feedback, basically we have taken, if student don't want to give a feedback, then we are just simply displaying the message thank you for your registration and time. And at the end, everything's go well, we are just displaying the message goodbye, or you can say send a message have a good day, have a good day and bye. Now let test the flow and check it whether it's working fine or not. So basically we have tested until the thing that a student is already registered and if student is not registered. Now it's time to checking the process of feedback. Okay, so before that, see, here feedback is not there. So let me just start the conversation, but before that I need to switch on the tracking and let's say hi. Okay. Then it will ask please select from the following. So I want to give a feedback, so I'm selecting a new registration. So my full name, let's say I'm giving a full name, let's say Rajesh Shah, and then it will ask my email, that is rajesh@gmail.com. Then it will ask my contact number, so I am providing my dummy contact number right now, and it asks for my educational qualification, so I'm selecting graduation, not my, it's Rajesh's educational qualification. Then it your registration, then do you want to register for training or workshop? Definitely yes. And then it will give the link, and would you like to give a valuable feedback to us? So let me write yes. And then rate us from the following, so I want to give 3 stars. And then see what happened. Oh, thank you for your feedback, have a good day and bye. So let me check whether that feedback is stored. So basically Rajesh feedback should store in a table. Here is our feedback. So from the Power Virtual Agent, we insert data into the feedback table. So till now we have done till the feedback. Till now we have completed the process of already registered student and not registered student, and also we have completed the process of taking feedback from the student. Now let's see what we are going to see next in the chatbot. Now let's see what I have done, and I have designed a thing that if user enter incorrect email while the chatbot is asking for already registered students. Okay, so let me just show you practically. Hi. Then chatbot is asking please select from the following. So let's say I'm already registered students. Okay, so for that it is asking that please provide your registered email. Till now you know, but let's say I'm entering my email ID and I already registered with my email ID krupali@gmail.com, but when I'm writing this thing, I accidentally added one extra character, that is 1. while entering into the email. So basically I am registered student, but if I say, and if I hit the enter, it is saying that you are not registered with us previously. But let's see what it is doing now. So it is again asking me, please provide your registered email. Why? The reason is this email ID may entered incorrect by the user, so we are giving a second chance to the user for asking writing their email. Okay, so this time let's say krupali@gmail.com, and since I have written the correct email ID, so it is going for the further process that do you want to register for training or workshop or not. And then if I say yes, then further process will go. But let's say if I add incorrect email ID one time, so it is giving me a second chance. So what we are going to plan for the next is we are going to give 3 chances to the user to enter their correct email if the user is already registered. Why? Sometimes there may be a reason that while writing mistake is there, or maybe user don't know using which email ID he or she registered. So we are going to design this process for the chatbot. Okay, so I have already designed. So let me show you what I have done. You know the process that what if the student is already not registered, then we will take data and then we will take a feedback. So till now you have developed this, I assume that. So for rest of the things I already developed and show you how I did. Okay, now you know how to ask a question, how to add the things or not. So we have done with the asking for the let's say, let it be load first. Okay, here. Okay, so here let's say if the student email ID, whatever we are asking, that if you already registered or new registered. If already registered there, then we have designed that thing that here just don't focus on this part. We have done that we are asking the email ID, and if email ID is already registered, okay, we are checking that email IDs exist in our database or not. Okay, and if it is registered there, we will jump into that. But let's say if student entered incorrect email ID, so we are giving 3 chances. So basically what I have done, so after the variable student choice already registered, I set a counter. So how to set a counter? You just need to click on that, and on the topic management you need to click on the things that okay, just a minute. Let me click on the escape key, and how to click on set and variable. So variable management, and you need to click on set and variable, and after that you need to click on variable name, and from this time you need to select the number. Okay, always select a number for the that. Why? Because counter 1 time, 2 time, 3 times. So I initialize the counter value with the 0. Then I join the existing, which we have designed, that email ID or not, and then we are checking for the flow whether that email ID is exist in our database or not. Now previously what we have done, if it is exist, then we are asking, do you want to register for training or workshop? But let's say, what if the email ID is not exist? Then we directly jump into that part we have already created, that we go to that part, please provide your register. But here I have added 2 things. Here I am checking here the condition for the counter. Why? Because when user or when the chatbot is asking the things that please provide your registered email, before that I added the counter. Okay, so I am adding the counter and then I am checking the condition. And what condition I am checking? I am checking the condition here that if the student email ID is not registered with the database. So I am checking whether the counter value is less than 2. Basically, if I say right here 3, let me just edit here and write 3. So it will start with the 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, less than or equal to. If so basically it will ask email ID 4 times. So if you are starting with the 0, then you should write 2, and if you are starting with 1, then you should write 3. So it depends upon you how you have done that. So here I have added the condition that if the counter value is less than 3, then I need to add an action. Okay, so how can you add an action? Action means here we are designing our flow for that, and after designing the flow, again let's say here the counter value I am giving to the flow 0, and then this flow will increment the counter value. So basically that flow will increment the counter. Why? Because let's say if you ask first time, then student is asking that the first time we are asking email, and if the email ID is not correct, again we are asking the same question. So see here, we are redirecting our flow to here again. Please provide your registered email. So for that we need to design a kind of loop thing that will run 3 times and it will exit once the value is equal to 3 or less than or equal to 3. So that's why I have done this. So it's a kind of flow that will increment the value. So how you can design this type of flow? Okay, so let's look into that. So for that you need to click on plus sign, and here you need to click on add an action. Okay, so here call an action, sorry, not add an action, call an action, and you can select the flow. My flow name is that Power Virtual Agent. So I did not give a proper name to that. So you can see that. Let me just give call an action, and you can see the flow name for that. So let's design a flow which will take a value from that, increment it by 1, and return to the Power Virtual Agent. So for that I need to click on plus sign and click on call an action, and I'm creating a new flow for that. And here this will give a counter value to that Power Automate flow, and flow will increment the counter and give it back the incremented value. So let me initialize the variable, that is add an input, and this time it is number. So I'm receiving the value in CNT, that is a short form of counter variable. So from here, this counter value we are passing it into that variable called count, and then we are initializing the value of the counter with the value which I received. So for that I need to click on plus sign and add an action, and here I'm searching for initialize variable, and that variable value, that is variable counter, I'm initializing with the integer value with the variable which I receive as an input from the virtual agent. So this variable so variable counter I initialize with the value which I received as an input from the Power Virtual Agent. Then after initializing it, I need to click on add an action, and I need to increment that value. So for that I need to click on increment, and which value I want to increment. So I want to increment the value which I initialized it. So variable counter, and I'm incrementing it by 1. So manually you need to write it 1. And after that I need to return a value. Which value? The value which I incremented by 1. So here I need to click and add an output and select a number, and here variable count I'm returning to which the variable, so which I incremented. So variable count I'm incrementing. So save the flow. It will take some time. Okay, so it's saved. Okay, and here we are done with that, and refresh the page, and let me switch on my tracker, and let's say the student is already registered. Then okay, so here we are adding the flow. So we have not given any name. So let me give, so I'm not changing the name here, but I request you or I suggest you to change the name, because here if I change again I need to refresh the page. So my flow name is Power Virtual Agent Flow Template, but I request you to change the name. Okay, so call an action, and here Power Virtual Agent Flow Template is appearing, and here I'm passing the value of the counter, and I receive that value in itself, that variable called counter. Select that and check it. So this value I pass it, and I receive updated value in the same variable, and if that value is less than 3, so it will run the flow continue. And let's say if the value, or let's say if the email ID student entered incorrect 3 times, then what will happen? So we are altering the message that you entered incorrect email ID 3 times. It seems that this email ID is not registered with us, and kindly make your registration. Okay, and let me test it. Okay, so let me say hi, and I will give incorrect email ID 3 times, and at the 4th times I will give my correct email. Let me check it. At 4 times I will also give incorrect email, so for testing purpose. So this time I am giving my email ID kr@gmail.com. Then it will check it and again ask. It should ask actually. So provide your registered email. So first time I give correct, second time I am giving incorrect email ID. So I'm just giving random k1@gmail.com. Again it is asking my email ID 3rd time. So y@gmail.com. Again I am entering incorrect email. So 3 times incorrect. So it will ask me 4th time. Okay. So let's say r@gmail.com, and it should answer. It is saying that you entered incorrect email ID 3 times. It seems that it is not registered with us. Make your registration. And it is asking, do you want to register with us? And here what happened, actually, if you have seen 1, 2, 3 and 4 times I should give. So what you can do, instead of less than 3, so here you can say less than 2 times. So 0, 1 and 2. So basically 3 times, but we are calculating from the 0. Okay, so let's just save it, the changes, and testing it back. Okay, so it's saving. The process is going on. I'm writing hi again. And then let's say kr@gmail.com. It is asking me. I'm giving incorrect email ID first time, then second time incorrect email, then 3rd time. See, it is giving the message, and it is redirected to that kindly registered with us. And if say no, then let's see what happened. It is saying thank you for your time and have a good day. So basically we are done with that. So we are done with making a chatbot for taking input from the user and making it store it in a Dataverse table, and we are done with some of the process. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for choosing KnowHow Academy as your source of IT knowledge. We are always here to help you to navigate to the tech world. If you have any question, don't hesitate to reach out us. It has been a pleasure to share this information with you. Stay curious and keep learning.